like the first 10 days is much more reflective and focused. And then we end Yom Kippur, we sing Shema Yisrael, and we just believe that it's okay, God will take care of us. And it just like sort of transforms, and then the rest, we just start celebrating. Not celebrating in the sense of having a party. It's still actually serious, but we're celebrating God's forgiveness. We're celebrating the connection that we achieved on Yom Kippur. You are listening to the JP Show,
where we discuss the issues you care about from a Jewish perspective.
I am Rabbi G.
And I am Rabbi Levi.
And we hope you enjoy this episode. And we are back.
It's been Welcome back, everyone.
We are back. Welcome to another episode of the JP Show. Wherever you're listening, please subscribe or write a review. But it's been a while, so we really are happy to be back. We're a little bit tired. Rabbi Levi, if you can see his face, he's like really tired.
Yeah, exhausted.
Because it's been a month. We were actually thinking maybe we should do a JP show throughout the Chagim, the festivals, but really it wasn't a minute. It was like a marathon of activities, of functions, of shiurim, of inspirational experiences. It's been just incredible. So, although we look tired, just you should know, I think I'm right, Rabbi Levi, that we look tired, but we're actually energized and on a high, really.
Spiritually energized.
Spiritually energized, physically weak.
That's right.
But we'll get there. We'll get there. Now we're going to bring it all down. We're going to apply it all, make it all work.
Yeah, it's very interesting how the calendar is actually set up. That God crammed in a whole bunch of festivals into 1 month. And then now, tonight actually, is Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan. We have a month which is, there's no festivals at all. You could think you could have spaced that a little better, but I think there's actually an intent here. I think there's actually a point.
Correct.
The point is that we have a very spiritual season, and then the point is now live your regular day-to-day life based on the inspiration that you got in the past month.
Right. And we talk about the month, we talk about Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, and Shmini Atzeret, Simchat Torah.
Yeah.
Of course, this year, globally, Simchat Torah towards the end of Sukkot was really amazing. Hosh just came home, and it was just like an unbelievable energy.
Yep. So, we don't have much to talk about other than the past month. I mean, we have a lot to talk about, but we want to sort of focus on the month of Tishrei, which we just experienced. Many highs, many incredible moments throughout the month. It's a month which carries us through every human emotion, every human experience, every powerful connection to God that we can experience in every form, in every way. What was your highlight?
Oh, that's a really, really hard one. There are many, but I'll tell you one. One for me, and sort of every year this way, but this year also it was extra special. I'm not sure why. Is the end of Ne'ilah. When I say end of Ne'ilah, so just to clarify for those that are 100% familiar, so the end of Ne'ilah, of course, is like the pinnacle of Yom Kippur, and it's sort of the climax of the first half of the month. We've had Rosh Hashanah, and we kind of elevate ourselves, and we come closer and closer. Yom Kippur, there's that special connection, the special closeness with God. We disconnect from the world, we fast, but we pray. It's intense, right? And then at the end of the Ne'ilah, we scream out the fundamental sentence of Jewish faith, which is Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. And everyone screams out. It was the most amazing, like the way it happened. And also that sentence this year has particular significance. I've forgotten his name. One of the hostages actually said that he repeated Shema Yisrael specifically in the tunnels of Gaza. But the highlight part is a bit different. The highlight part is that what happens is, because we have this, it's a really important thing, we have this fundamental belief that Yom Kippur, we try our best and we pray and we ask for forgiveness. And we really believe that God listens to us, right? And therefore he answers our prayers. So there's a custom that many people have. We did this when we were, at BINA, we were down in Ne'ilah. We certainly did this. And afterwards, we sing, after the intense seriousness of Ne'ilah, the ark is open. It's a very, very, we asking God, please seal us for a good year, and some people cry, and it's very intense. We sing, and it's like very, very intense prayer. And then suddenly we break into this like amazingly happy tune. And everyone dances wherever they are. Like they're jumping up and down. And it's like, I mean, I'm the Chazan in where we are, and like you hear it from the back of it, like it's like incredible. Like place just goes wild. And within 1 second, the whole month changes. It's like the first 10 days is much more reflective and focused. And then we end Yom Kippur, we sing Shema Yisrael, and we just believe that it's okay, God will take care of us. And it just like sort of transforms, and then the rest, we just start celebrating. Not celebrating in the sense of having a party. It's still actually serious, but we're celebrating God's forgiveness. We're celebrating the connection that we achieved on Yom Kippur. And we're celebrating that God accepted our praise. Because we believe it with all our hearts, right?
Mm.
So that moment, that from the Shema Yisrael to the song, that's like a big highlight. So what was yours?
Ooh, so many. For me, Simchat Torah is always the highlight. I mean, it's the end of the whole journey. You know, I always say as a joke, I'm only half joking. You know, some people only come to shul 1 day a year and they come Yom Kippur. I always think if you're going to come 1 day a year, you should come Simchat Torah, actually. Um, I'm not saying you shouldn't come Yom Kippur, you should actually come both. But if you're going to choose between one of them, I mean, obviously both very important. But I think what people sometimes fail to understand is that Simchat Torah is not just a time just to let loose and have a party. It's actually a very serious, intense day of connection. Connection with God, connection with the gift that He gave us, which is the Torah, which is His wisdom, the guide to our life. Everything that we do is based on the Torah. Connection with each other. We don't dance alone. No, we dance with other people.
Yeah.
This year, particularly, I think that was felt. There was this joy about the hostages coming home, and you sort of felt part of a very, very big nation. I'm sure in other shows it was beautiful. I can only tell you what happened at BINA. Simchas Torah at BINA is definitely, as I said, very focused, very spiritual, very holy, very joyous. And for me, it's just a time of unbelievable connection, where you just see the joy shining on people's faces, connecting to our heritage, connecting to our souls, connecting to each other, and it's just beautiful. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, for me, it's just
But it
very,
was
very
very special
inspiring.
this year. It was extra special. It was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Really, really, really very extra special. So now then when we come away, then like you say, you go to the month that has no festival. I'm going to try and put something into practice. I always think of the following analogy. I always think that, when you go on a trip, so, go to America, go to Israel, go to Europe, whatever the case is, right? You tour different places, different things. You buy souvenirs. You do your American shopping, but, some of the kosher candies that you can't find here, whatever the case is.
Mm,
You pack it all in, and then you come home. And I think the hardest part of any trip is the unpacking.
right.
But it's also the most important part. Like, you can't leave things in the suitcase. You leave things in the suitcase of no use, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit like this month. So what happens is we go through
Very good analogy, actually, because usually when you're unpacking, you're also jet lagged and you're exhausted, and then I think
the whole thing.
the analogy is very apt.
Yeah, good. It's good. Yeah, it's true. So we go through, like, we take a trip, we go take a journey. We come to the Shoshana station, the Kibron, each place, each part of the journey, we're buying different souvenirs. We're taking different energies and blessings and perspectives and lessons and so on, right?
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And it was really beautiful, inspiring, uplifting, and all that. But the most important part, or the hardest part of any trip, is unpacking. But it's the most important. So now we've got to unpack. And I think what that means really is it's so important to kind of say, okay, so what am I going to do throughout the year? One thing, two things, whatever. A little bit different this year. That's going to remind me each time I do it. It's going to remind me. You know how, again, just using an analogy again, like, how sometimes you use a special cup. You say, oh, this cup I bought in Venice, so like, and you remind yourself, oh, it was a good trip, we're in a good restaurant.
Yeah.
Right? Or a different thing you look at, or you wear a t-shirt you bought somewhere, whatever. So then each time you do that, you remember the journey. Same thing with us. Like we take one thing away that we're going to guide the year with and uplift the year, and also each time we do it, it's going to transport us back to the beautiful journey.
Yeah.
Because
And I think something you
everyone took the
mentioned.
journey in their own way. I mean, maybe not everyone was as intense or as busy, but I mean, everyone is inspired somewhere along the way. I mean, everyone has Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur. Everyone somehow. I mean, right? I saw this. I mean, we just, we did lots of stuff like, I mean, that's part of what we were busy, but I'm saying it was like a lot of, we had a young adult Kayemet group, first night Sukkot, 30 people in the Sukkot.
Yeah.
They were enjoying it. I loved it. That was maybe for them, that was the Sukkot experience. Other people, the other meals and older people, young people, shirim and benching lulav and etrog. People were very receptive this year. So most people sort of experienced the month on different levels and different stations.
Yeah.
Everyone can unpack a little bit. Everyone can say, listen, this is what I'm going to hang on to, and I'm going to try and apply it this coming year.
Yeah. And I think something you mentioned on Simchat Torah, I think that's when it was, or maybe it was a few times, that there's a danger almost that because now, I mean, nothing's perfect now, and obviously there are still hostages that are not alive that still have to come back and have a Jewish burial, and that's very, very important. But because there's no living hostages left, sort of the urgency is not as much as it was. And sometimes when there's an urgency, everyone's very inspired. You have to do more mitzvot, you have to connect more. But then when things go sort of back to normal, there's sort of a danger like, okay, now I can go back to normal. But I think that's a fundamental mistake. I think if anything, now we have to get even more intense.
Well, I think for a number of reasons. First of all, part of it is gratitude to thank God for the miracles He has done, and also for the future. I mean, things aren't perfect; they're very far from perfect. As expected, Hamas is not exactly playing ball with the disarmament and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So Israel, our brothers and sisters, Israel still need protection. We still need to pray for the safety of the Chayalim. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot to be, there's a lot of urgency still.
Yeah.
I'll just share with you one little inspiring thing that actually happened to me in Sukkot, which is maybe a different highlight. The second day of the Chag, I went with a lulav and etrog with your sister, and we walked through the junction. So many Jews there, and they were very receptive. People to make a bracha on the lulav and etrog was beautiful. It was actually even more inspiring that, first of all, nothing negative happened, but actually non-Jews came over for two reasons. Either they genuinely were interested in understanding what it's all about, and I have like a 2-minute explanation to explain lulav and etrog in terms of unity and stuff like that, and they loved it. But actually, quite a few of them said, I just want you to know, we stand with you, we stand with the Jews. One was very passionate. He said, I'm embarrassed of our country, because anti-Semitism in Australia has risen. It was actually very heartwarming. I think there's a big, big, big group out there, just a bit silent, but they're really with us. So I think it's I think we can really see the good year happening. It's going to be a good
Absolutely.
year.
All right. Hopefully we'll
gain
our strength a little bit by next week, and we'll be back full force with the full BINA program, and everything's happening.
Yeah.
And it's great to be back with all of you.
Excellent. All the best, everyone.